Behavioral coaching more than everything.
Okay.
So here's how this works, right? You guys tell me if this sounds familiar. You go on a plan, right? Say you're doing keto, you're doing carnivore, you're doing Atkins, God knows what you're doing. You do really well in the morning. You wake up, you have an amazing breakfast, you feel good, you go work out, you have a great lunch, you get home, you have a little bit of dinner, you're exhausted, and then you start munching on something while you're watching TV on the couch. And then that little bit of something turns into a bowl of popcorn, plus pickles with almond butter and mustard. That's Amy's favorite. Something weird, maybe it's a tub of ice cream, right? Maybe you reach for Ben and Jerry's and like a little cup that you wanted turned into the whole tub, okay? That's a behavioral issue. That's not a nutrition issue. If I were to ask everybody that's watching this, what does eating well look like? I guarantee you every single one of you gets me a perfect answer, right? You eat chicken, you eat salad, you drink water, you don't have like sodas and ice creams and chocolates and all these things. So the information about like what should you be eating is not all that complicated, right? Maybe some people have some nuance, but for the most part, that part's really simple. The part that's really difficult is how to get you to apply it to your life, okay? I'll give you an example from my life and how our nutrition coaches help me. I work tons and tons of hours every single day. I was working maybe 10 or 11 hours a day for a really, really long time. We were going through a sprint. So I would get home and I would eat perfectly throughout the day or not at all sometimes, right? I'd wake up in the morning, go to work, not eat anything, maybe stop at Chipotle, have a bowl or a burrito, try to make it healthy. But then I'd get home and my cortisol, my stress was so high that I would just reach for anything that I could eat. And I would eat and eat and eat in front of the TV for that hour, hour and a half as I wound down for bed. And I would just eat 2,000-3,000 calories every night. And I wasn't losing the fat that I wanted to lose. Then one of our nutrition coaches made the suggestion that instead of me sitting in front of the couch and just eating whatever I wanted, what if I consciously decided what I was going to eat before I sat at the TV? So this is the only change I made. It wasn't a big deal. I just went to the kitchen and I went, okay, how much food am I going to eat? And what do I need to eat for the rest of my day? So I would grab my protein, I'd put it on a plate, right? I would grab my carbohydrates, I'd put them on a plate. I'd grab my sweet treats, I'd put them on a plate. I'd grab my fats and put them on a plate. So I'd end up with, okay, maybe I had a protein shake or a piece of fish or a piece of chicken or something. Then I'd have like some sweet potato or sometimes it was fries, sometimes it was chicken nuggets, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Put it on the plate. And then I would grab, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to have 2 cups of ice cream. Okay, and I put it on my plate. But I knew what I was getting myself into, and it was very conscious, so I could control it. So instead of 3,000 calories, it was 1,200 calories or 1,500 calories, which for me was totally okay. And I sat in front of the TV. When my plate was empty, I was done eating. The only rule was I wasn't able to get back up and get more food. That made it so easy for me to be able to get results, and it worked. So those are the types of behavioral changes that a nutrition coach is able to make. They're able to assess what's going on with you and help you find a viable way to stick to the program. It's not just about what the program is, sticking to it. So the accountability, really important.